reading from the book of Genesis, but it's never too late. Joyce, Frank, and Poochie, and Gary Carey, welcome. Let us begin. St. Luke chapter 23. Luke chapter 23, and the whole multitude. Now, yesterday we read about, it was a repetition. We had read about it in Matthew already, about the denial of Jesus and the betrayal by Judas and the denial by Peter. Well, that story was repeated in yesterday's reading. So today we are going to move right along. No need to talk too much about that story, because that story we have talked about several times already. All right, so let us move right along to St. Luke chapter 23. And the whole multitude of them arose and led him unto Pilate. And this him they are talking about is Jesus. And they began to accuse him, saying, we found this fellow perverting the nation and forbidding to give tribute to Caesar, saying that he himself is Christ, a king. And Pilate asked him, saying, art thou the king of the Jews? Winsome, where are you? We're waiting for you to come on in, Winsome. Let us continue. All right, let us continue. And Pilate asked him, saying, art thou the king of the Jews? And he answered and said, thou sayest it. Then Pilate said to the chief priests and to the people, I find no fault in this man. And they were the more fierce, saying, he stirs up the people, teaching throughout all Jewry, beginning from Galilee unto this place. When Pilate heard of Galilee, he asked whether the man was a Galilean. And as soon as he knew that he belonged unto Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him to Herod, who himself also was at Jerusalem at that time. And when Herod saw Jesus, he was exceedingly glad. For he was desirous to see him of a long season, because he had heard many things of him, and he hoped to have seen some miracle done by him. Now, right here, some people, right here, so I have to pause. No. Do you all remember when we read in Matthew that Joseph brought Jesus and Mary to go hide out in Egypt when Herod was looking to slay him as a baby? Do y'all remember that? My head I get old, but not too tough, you know. Do you all remember when Jesus was born and the 3 wise men were sent by Herod to go find where the baby was? I'm telling you about the story, according to the story. The 3 wise men were sent to go find where the baby was and to bring word back to Herod. They did not go back to Herod. They went back to their own country. Now, when Herod found out that he had been tricked by them and they didn't come back to tell him where this particular baby was, what did he do? He ordered every baby under 2 to be slain, because that would mean that Jesus would fall within that age bracket. You ordered all those babies to be slain. You all remember? All right. Now you all remember when Joseph decided to come back from Egypt, what had happened? Why he was going to come back again? But tell us, so the Bible have so many inconsistencies, you know. You don't read it for yourself, you don't understand. Do y'all remember when Joseph decided that he was going to come back from Egypt with his family? What had happened prior to him making that decision? Can I hear you? You in the back there, tell me what happened. Herod had died. Herod had died. And his son was now taking over. And Joseph said to himself, well, the son is just as wicked as Herod. So he went the other way to Nazareth. How comes now, when Jesus big and is being crucified, now when him big and being crucified, them are going to say, they send him to Herod. Eh. God, I'm so over you. What's wrong with you? You said, you just I wonder where Mortem out there. Where's the Mortem out here? I can't believe you call me that. I'm so through with you. If me not black you today, I don't name my name. What Paul said more dangerous? Yes, the son was more dangerous than the dead. But this now has caused me to pause. Because according to the Bible, I say no Trevor make it up, you know. According to the Bible, Herod had died. And his son had taken over since Jesus was a child. No, Jesus is an adult. And they say Pilate send him to Herod. We'll continue reading. Let us continue reading. Verse 7 of Luke chapter 23. And as soon as he knew that he belonged unto Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him to Herod, who himself also was at Jerusalem at that time. And when Herod saw Jesus, he was exceedingly glad, for he was desirous to see him of a long season, because he had heard many things of him, and he hoped to have seen some miracle done by him. Then he questioned with him in many words, but he answered him nothing. And the chief priests and scribes stood and vehemently accused him. And Herod with his men of war set him at naught, and mocked him, and arrayed him in a gorgeous robe, and sent him again to Pilate. And the same day Pilate and Herod were made friends together, for before they were at enmity between themselves. And Pilate, when he had called together the chief priests and the rulers and the people, said unto them, Ye have brought this man unto me as one that perverteth the people. And behold, I, having examined him before you, have found no fault in this man touching those things whereof he accused him. No, not yet, Herod, for I sent you to him, and lo, nothing worthy of death is done unto him. I will therefore chastise him and release him. For of necessity he must release one unto them at the feast. And they cried out all at once, saying, Away with this man, and release unto us Barabbas, who for a certain sedition made in the city and for murder was cast into prison. So that's what Barabbas was in a prison for sedition and murder, trying to overthrow the government and murder. That's what he was in prison for. But they cry out that they want Barabbas. Away with this man, they want Barabbas. Pilate, therefore, willing to release Jesus, spake again to them. But they cried, saying, Crucify him, crucify him. Let me see who this are coming here. So somebody say, Paul said son took over. His name was not Herod, darling. His name was not Herod. God, what did Herod's son did name again? Artilius? Let me find it and tell you. I'm going to pause so I can find it. So I can find it and tell you what his name was. I think it is in around chapter 3. Hold on, I'm going to find it and tell you. I'm going to find it and tell you. Give me a second. I'm going to find it for you. Archelaus. 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 Yeah. Archelaus was the name of Herod's son who took over after Herod. And at that time, Jesus was still a young child. And that is in Matthew chapter 2. Okay? So, another piece of conflict here. So, if Herod had been dead since Jesus was a baby and his son Archelaus had taken over, now that Jesus is an adult, how are they going to say they send him to Herod? Herod send him back. Yeah. I know a lot of you are desirous of finding justification for it. But remember, I am not here to justify or sanitize anything. That is not my business here. What I am doing is reading it just as it is presented to me and trying to understand it. Okay, so when I find discrepancies, I'm not going to be afraid to say I find discrepancies because I don't have no token in this. Okay? All right, so we are going to continue. Let us continue. We are on to St. Luke chapter 23 and verse 20. Pilate, therefore, willing to release Jesus, spake again to them, but they cried, saying, Crucify him, crucify him. And he said unto them the third time, Why? What evil hath he done? I have found no cause of death in him. I will therefore chastise him and let him go. And they were instant with loud voices, requiring that he might be crucified. And the voices of them and of the chief priests prevailed. And Pilate gave sentence that it should be as they required. And he released unto them him that for sedition and murder was cast into prison, whom they had desired, but he delivered Jesus to their will. And as they led him away, they laid hold upon one Simon, a Cyrenian, coming out of the country, and on him they laid the cross, that he might bear it after Jesus. And there followed him a great company of people and of women, which also bewailed and lamented him. But Jesus, turning unto them, said, Daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. For, behold, the days are coming, in the which they shall say, Blessed are the barren, and the wombs that never bear, and the paps which never gave suck. Then shall they begin to say to the mountains, Fall on us, and to the hills, cover us. Someone say, let me see what it says. Someone say, the wise men. So someone said the wise men were sorcerers. Well, me don't know. Me not get no definite saying in the Bible about that, or any context that would make me think that they were sorcerers. So so I don't know. I don't know. But I know what I do know is that according to the Bible, they found Jesus, and my name is Maisha. How do I go on without my mom? Oh, hello, Maisha. How are you doing, my love? I'm so sorry. I am so sorry you lost your mom. My sincere condolences to you and your family, my love. Guys, in the chat, please send out some condolences to Maisha. Paul said them I did Obia man. Well, watch a man this light. I don't know about all of that, Paul. About them being no Obia man. I don't find any content in the Bible to tell me that them I did Obia man. I don't think so. It said there were wise men. It said there were wise men. And when they went to see Jesus, they realized that, hey, I mean, we're not going back to Herod, because if we go back to Herod, Herod is going to know where the baby is. And if he knows where the baby is, he's going to seek to slay the baby. So we're not going back. We're not going back to him. When Herod realized that they had tricked him, they had not come back as they had promised, as he had expected them to come back. That's when he ordered that all the babies that were under the age of 2 should be slain. So I don't know if find something else and give me Paul. I don't know if they did Obia man or not. Something else, Me and this light, but guys, I have to use the lights. If I don't use the light, I have to use my glasses. But my glasses in my pocketbook over there, so. At the pocketbook where the glasses, Me say Jesus. At the pocketbook where the glasses, I know me. Andrea, what's up? God say wise men and wise women in those days were sorcerers. Well, they could have been anything. They could have been anything. Or they could have been anything for all I know. Right, Andrea? Good morning, Andrea. How are you doing, my love? Good to see you. Thank you for the follow, Maisha. Happy Saturday to you, my love. All right, Winsome, we're going to continue. Well, Winsome Day, we are reading from the book of St. Luke, chapter 23, guys. Let's get on with it. Verse 27. And there followed him a great company of people and of women, which also bewailed and lamented him. But Jesus, turning unto them, said, Daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. For, behold, the days are coming, in the which they shall say, Blessed are the barren, and the wombs that never bear, and the paps which never gave suck. Then shall they begin to say to the mountains, Fall on us, and to the hills, cover us. For if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry. And there were also two other malefactors led with him to be put to death. And when they were come to the place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him, and the malefactors, one on his right hand and the other on his left. Then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots. Oh, Trev, you should wear your glasses. Actually, you know, actually, me I tell him if you wear the glasses with you. If only me can get the glasses out of the bag. Anywho, I'm gonna get it and put it on one of these days. You know, when I have on the glasses for too long, when we take it off, it's almost like my face feels strange. Yeah, there are times when I really do need the glasses, like when I'm driving at nights or so, you know. But no need to stress it. You people no need to stress it. I can't see. See me have one light here. Me just put a light here right here. So I have one big ring light here. So, but it's a ring light that look like what for. Hey, no, you turn on some ring light and it just light up. It's a ring light here. I mean, no, me turn it on the brightest and sitting in already at all. Where's someone for to stop drive at night? After me not elderly. I mean, if you stop drive at night. Night are the best time for drive. For me at least. I want to sister win someone. Sister Andrea, man. Let us continue, guys. Let us continue. Verse 35. We're going to read 34 again. Then Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots. And the people stood beholding, and the rulers also with him derided him, saying, He saved others, let him save himself, if he be Christ, the chosen of God. And the soldiers also mocked him, coming to him and offering him vinegar, and saying, If thou be the king of the Jews, save yourself. When some owls don't need the glasses at night, I don't want to say in the community why they talk a black or no. People, I don't want to say why they talk a black or no. I'm not going to say anything offensive, but the talk is very sensitive. So it likes to filter and block for some foolishness. You know, just ridiculous. Simple little things, simple conversations people have, simple statements they make the talk, block the statement, so I can't even see. But anyway, we will continue reading. And the superscription also was written over him in letters of Greek and Latin and Hebrew. This is the King of the Jews. And one of the malefactors which were hanged, railed on him, saying, If thou be Christ, save yourself and us. But the other answering rebuked him, saying, Dost not thou fear God, seeing thou art in the same condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds. But this man hath done nothing wrong. And he said unto Jesus, Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom. And Jesus said unto him, Verily I say unto you, today shalt thou be with me in paradise. And it was about the 6th hour, and there was a darkness over all the earth until the 9th hour. And the sun was darkened, and the veil of the temple was rent in the middle. And when Jesus had cried with a loud voice, he said, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. And having said thus, he gave up the ghost. That's when he died. Let's continue. Now, when the centurion saw what was done, he glorified God, saying, Certainly, this was a righteous man. And all the people that came together to that sight, beholding the things which were done, smote their breasts and returned. And all his acquaintances and the women that followed him from Galilee stood afar off, beholding these things. And behold, there was a man named Joseph, a counselor, and he was a good man and a just man. The same had not consented to the counsel and deed of them. He was of Arimathea, a city of the Jews, who also himself waited for the kingdom of God. This man went unto Pilate and begged for the body of Jesus. And he took it down and wrapped it in linen and laid it in a sepulchre that was hewn in stone, wherein never man before was laid. And that day was the preparation, and the Sabbath drew on. And the women also, which came with him from Galilee, followed after, and beheld the sepulchre, and how his body was laid. And they returned and prepared spices and ointments, and rested the Sabbath day according to their commandments. Now we're going to move right along into chapter 24. Once again, welcome guys. Welcome into the live. Thank you all for popping in. I appreciate you all. Now, upon the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they came unto the sepulchre, bringing the spices which they had prepared, and certain others with them. And they found the stone rolled away from the sepulchre. And they entered in, and found not the body of Jesus. And it came to pass, as they were much perplexed thereafter, behold, two men stood by them in shining garments. And as they were afraid and bowed down their faces to the earth, they said unto them, Why seek ye the living among the dead? He is not here, but is risen. Remember how he spake unto you when he was yet in Galilee, saying, The Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men, and be crucified, and the third day rise again. And they remembered his words, and returned from the sepulchre, and told all these things unto the 11, and to all the rest. When they say to the 11, you know, Jesus had 12 disciples. Y'all remember why it's now 11, right? Because Judas by this time had unalived himself. Now, according to the book of Matthew, we were reading Matthew, you see, Matthew has a little bit of details that Luke don't have. That's why I've said to y'all, if you want to understand this, you got to read these simultaneously, Matthew and Luke, and make notes of the similar events, the events that were the same events that they both were talking about, but the details of the event oftentimes are different. Winsome, Winsome, we've been waiting for you. Winsome, remember I told don't say I didn't tell you no. I told you yesterday that this morning's reading was going to be late because it's gonna be after I leave work. I leave work at 7:30. I get home at 7:40, 45, somewhere around there. I get myself together and then I get on the live. So this morning you should be expecting me at this time. Yeah. Okay. But just want to make sure, say, you remember that I told you yesterday because I'm sure I did. Let me see who else is here. Marika and Sim4J and others, Clam Jammy and everybody else. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Jojo! Jojo is here. Welcome, Jojo. What's up? Good morning, my love. Good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome, guys. We are here. We are reading from the book of St. Luke, chapter 24 this morning. And I was telling you all that when you have time, you need to spend some time and read the book of Matthew and the book of Luke together and compare the details of the events that are in both books, because they do talk about the same things. It's just the details are a little bit different. Well, when some say, what you miss Luke 23, baby. Tell them for me, Josie. Tell them. It's your sweetheart Winsome. Tell them for me, Joseph. Because when them nail me to the cross and me deserve it, you know. That is the thing. When them nail me to the cross and me deserve it, me just take the nail in. Me just take the nail in and call it a day. But when me not deserve it, me not deserve it. Right, Nisha and Amanda? All right, let us continue, my dear friends. Let us continue with the reading. And they remembered his words and returned from the sepulchre and told all these things unto the 11 and to all the rest. Yeah, there was 11 now because, as I said, Judas by now had hung himself. Verse 10. It was Mary Magdalene and Joanna and Mary, the mother of James, and other women that were with them, which told these things unto the apostles. And their words seemed to them as idle tales, and they did not believe them. Verse 12. Then Peter arose and ran unto the sepulchre, and stooping down, he beheld the linen clothes laid by themselves, and departed, wondering in himself at that which was come to pass. And behold, two of them went that same day to a village called Emmaus, Emmaus, which was from Jerusalem about 60 furlongs. You know the distance of 60 furlongs, but I just say what the Bible say. So the distance from Jerusalem to Emmaus was 64 furlongs. That sound longer than what the horses run, right, Joseph? Jesus, let me turn this off. Okay, that's better. You only when a horse run me here then talk about furlong. So me don't know the measurement of furlong, sister. Verse 14. And they talked together at all these things which had happened. And it came to pass, that while they commuted together and reasoned, Jesus himself drew near and went with them. But their eyes were holden that they should not know him. Okay. And he said unto them, what manner of communications are these that ye have one to another as ye walk, and are sad? And one of them, whose name was Cleopas, answering said unto him, art thou only a stranger in Jerusalem, and hast not known the things which are come to pass there in these days? And he said unto them, what things? And they said unto him, concerning Jesus of Nazareth, which was a prophet, mighty in deed and words before God and all the people, and how the chief priests and our rulers delivered him to be condemned to death, and have crucified him. But we trusted that it had been he which should have redeemed Israel. And beside all this, today is the third day since these things were done. Yea, and certain women also of our company made us astonished, which were early at the sepulchre. And when they found not his body, they came, saying that they had also seen a vision of angels, which said that he was alive. And certain of them which were with us went to the sepulchre, and found it even so as the women had said, but him they saw not. Andrea said, what for Mother's Day for tomorrow? Me don't know. Me know me I work tonight and come home can sleep. But guys, those of you who were here yesterday, you see her yesterday. Oh, you all remember yesterday me put me two son them on blast. I said I know them not going to remember me. They're not going to remember to say Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, me no know why I'm doing it, you know. Lo and behold, they were on the live incognito listening. As soon as me come up on the live, the two of them blow up my phone. They blow up my phone. Mommy, Happy Mother's Day from today. Happy Mother's Day. I don't know why I did my boys like that. But it's all good fun. It's all good fun. All fun. So let us continue reading, guys. Let me see who else is here. Where should I say hello to? Somebody named Heavenly. Welcome, Heavenly. Thank you so much for popping in. Let us continue. We are on to St. Luke chapter 24. Chapter 24 and verse 25. Then he said unto them, O fools, and slow of heart, to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Really? Ought not Christ to have suffered these things and to enter into his glory? And beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. And they drew nigh unto the village, whither they went, and he made as though he would have gone further. But they constrained him, saying, abide with us, for it is towards evening, and the day is far spent. And he went in to tarry with them. And it came to pass, as he sat at meat with them, he took bread, and blessed it, and brake it, and gave it to them. And their eyes were opened, and they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight. And they said one to another, did not our heart burn within us while he talked with us by the way, and while he opened to us the scriptures. And they rose up the same hour and returned to Jerusalem and found the 11 gathered together and them that were with them, saying, The Lord is risen indeed, and hath appeared to Simon. And they told what things were done in the way, and how he was known of them in breaking the bread. And as they spoke, Jesus himself stood in the midst of them and said unto them, Peace be unto you. But they were terrified and affrighted, and supposed that they had seen a spirit. And he said unto them, Why are ye troubled? And why do thoughts arise in your hearts? Behold, my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Handle me and see, for a spirit hath not flesh and bones, as ye see me have. And when he had spoken, he showed them his hands and his feet. And while they yet believed not for joy, and wondered, he said unto them, Have ye here any meat? And they gave him a piece of broiled fish, and of any honeycomb. And he took it, and did eat before them. And he said unto them, These are the words which I spake unto you, while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses, and in the prophets, and in the Psalms concerning me. Then opened he their understanding, that they might understand the scriptures, and said unto them, Thus it is written, and thus it behooved Christ to suffer, and to rise from the dead the third day, and that repentance and remission of sins should be preached in his name among all nations, beginning at Jerusalem. And ye are witnesses of these things. And behold, I send the promise of my Father upon you, but tarry ye in the city of Jerusalem, until ye be endued with power from on high. And he led them out as far as to Bethany, and he lifted up his hands and blessed them. And it came to pass, while he blessed them, he was parted from them and carried up into heaven. And they worshipped him and returned to Jerusalem with great joys, and were continually in the temple, praising and blessing God. Amen. Joseph says, I know all the women them no have no man, not getting nothing. Just like the song say, a lot of women not get no support. I can't with you, yeah, Joseph. I can't with you. I can't with you. I mean, if the men who love their women and appreciate them every day will not have a problem when Mother's Day come. Their woman is still going to feel special. You know, I feel like I have rewarded myself with the best Mother's Day gift, and that is my children. So, contrary to what I said yesterday, if my children have not give me nothing for Mother's Day, that is not the essence of our love for each other. For them to give me something for Mother's Day, they not have to give me something for Mother's Day. Yeah, you know, every day is Mother's Day for me. Because I have my children and them have me. Hey, I have my grandchildren and they have me. Hey, yeah. So I don't worry too much about any particular day, whether or not I get something. No wait for birthday if you give me something if you go give me. No wait for Mother's Day if you give me something if you go give me. Cause me no must even live for see Mother's Day or the birthday. Why you have to wait for one special day if you think that you wanna share your blessing with me or something? Why you gotta wait for a special day? Imagine you wait from January if you give me something all the way to October. And before October come, Brooks, me gone. Yeah. Anytime you have to give somebody something, now wait for birthday and Mother's Day and Christmas and all them something there. Yeah, just saying. But anywho, Sister Winsome, we have come to the end of this Bible reading for this morning, and that was the end of the book of Luke. So now we have finished Matthew, Mark, and Luke. So when we come back tomorrow, I'm not gonna read tomorrow. Tomorrow Mother's Day. Yeah. Monday we start on the book of John, the book of Saint John. Yeah, tomorrow Mother's Day, and I'm gonna spend time with your mother and the mother who birthed you or the mother who mothered you, whichever the case may be. Okay? So tomorrow we're not gonna be doing any reading. Win some. Tomorrow I'm not doing any reading. Win some. Tomorrow I'm not doing win some. Tomorrow I'm not doing any reading. Yeah, you text me at that about with me day. I'm not reading tomorrow. I'm reading Monday morning. And Monday morning is gonna be around this same time. Okay? So when we come Monday morning, we will be starting the reading of the book of Saint John and hear his version, the Saint John's version of the crucifixion. Okay? That's where we are going to be ending the live for this morning. Yeah, as much as me look nice and bright, just say I sleep, I bust me shut. Yeah, so that's where we are going to wrap it up for tonight, for this morning. We have come to the end of the live for this morning, my friends. I want to say thanks to everybody who came in. Those of you on the tube, I hope you hit the like button on the live. Those of you on the talk, I appreciate you tapping your screen. I appreciate it. We have a few likes here. Thank you all so, so, so much. And guys, that's where we are going to end the reading for this morning. When we come back on Monday, we will continue with the reading of the Bible. To all the mothers here on the chat, happy Mother's Day to you all tomorrow when it comes. And if you are in some other places of the world where Sunday is here already, happy Mother's Day to you. We will talk. Trev, you always get something, don't we? Exactly. As long as I'm alive and as long as I have my kids and they are alive, we good. Yeah, we good. I don't need nothing tangible, nothing. I don't need nothing of this world. Right, Joseph? Love you, love you, love you, Winsome and Cad and Andrea and Desiree. Happy Mother's Day to you all. And anybody here who is not a mother and hoping to become a mother, happy Mother's Day when you become a mother. Okay? And even if you are not a mother, you could be a nurturing mother. Yeah, I know everybody who have the baby, in whose body the baby grew and, who delivered that baby. And everybody, not all of them, are even worthy to be called mothers. Yes, some of them are not even worthy to be called mothers. Because if you look at the news lately, you will see it seems like some kind of, I don't know, some kind of pandemic or something going on with mothers unaliving their children. I mean, like, what is going on here? Something is wrong. But for all the good mothers out there, I want to say happy Mother's Day to you tomorrow. And when we come back on Monday, we will continue with the reading. But that's where we're going to end for this morning, guys. Until next time, this is Trev from Trevessence, where your journey matters. Have yourselves a great day, everybody, and I will see you all later. I'm going to sleep. All right, later, Jojo. Later, Winsome and Cad. I will see you all later.